This is Ben and Ava from England. You're listening to the Resort Loop podcast. Bing bong!
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Bing bong!
To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard.
Hello again, everybody. You've joined the Gateway to the Magic. This is ResortLoop.com. I'm Tim Scott.
And I'm Bob Collar, still struggling with this new open you have come up with.
This is going to be different every time. I just think we should throw it in there. I like it.
I thought maybe it was a New Year's resolution for you.
It is a new revolution. I know you said resolution. I was just... But this is episode 90. 90.
90.
90.
The age I aspire to someday. Not anytime soon.
It's not looking good for you, Bob.
No, it's not. I'll be lucky to get through this week. Oh my gosh. Well, how about that show open?
Adorable.
Vicky, you are in such trouble with those two. They must get away with murder.
They
at
have
the
to.
house. With
Ben and Ava sound like cuties.
Oh my gosh, that was outstanding. Thank you so much. That from Vicky, good. Long-time listener of the show, good friend of the show. So thank you so much. I don't think they can get any cuter, but I've been wrong before.
That's true.
Wow.
Send them in. Send in the opens.
Oh, my gosh. So thanks again. So
anyway, this episode was Bob's idea.
Okay. Yes.
It was.
Okay. All right. But I've got to qualify that first. As you know, as everybody who's listened to the show for any length of time knows, I'm just riding your coattails.
Oh, stop it.
So
come on.
When you came up with the idea of what ride should be made into a movie.
Was that me?
That was you.
Oh, okay. Brilliant.
It was brilliant. All I could think was, okay, how can I spin off of that? And I thought, well, what movie? Because, you know... We know that Avatar is coming.
It's on its way.
They just broke ground with giant blue
guy with the shovel.
Right. Starting to dig. I think it'll be done in a week and a half with those guys.
It should be. I don't know what's taking so long.
Right.
Those guys are like worker bees.
They're huge. And the new mine ride at Magic Kingdom, New Fantasyland. I thought, what movie has Disney put out that they should make a ride?
Yes.
For. Again, spinning off of your idea. So we put that out to all of our listeners, and once again...
They came through.
Huge response.
Love the responses.
So thank you guys for all of that, and we might as well jump right into this and get started because we have so many. So the first one out of the gate would be from on Twitter, MouseWorld ADV on the Twitter says, I want to see an Incredibles ride and place it where Stitch's Great Escape is. I like the idea of the Incredibles ride. I love that movie, and I could never figure out why they did not continue with that series.
I love the Incredibles. And I just saw Brave.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't care for Brave.
What?
I did not.
You have no soul.
I didn't do anything for me.
All right. Well, that's all right.
I loved the Incredibles.
So did I, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened, but I like the idea of an Incredibles ride. I don't know if Tomorrowland's the right place for that, but
there's
maybe
a lot of
the
Pixar
studios.
stuff there, though. But yeah.
So that's from MouseWorld ADV.
Very nice. Disney Wagon on Twitter. Our friend Jeff.
Yeah,
he'd like to see. We're going back to Pixar again.
Okay.
He wants to see a Wall-E ride in Tomorrowland and get rid of Stitch's Great Escape.
Wall-E did very well, and that actually might work.
Wall-E's a kind of a future thing.
Yeah,
future Tomorrowland. It would kind of go in there.
That would make a lot of sense in Tomorrowland.
It would.
Yeah, Wall-E was a good movie for them. Jason Osborne. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, Jeff had just one more thing. He wanted to also replace the American Idol experience in the studios with a Monsters, Inc. sliding door ride.
I love that idea.
I do.
I think again, another movie that they could really expand on and capitalize on would be Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought of when I thought of this idea was it's got to be a movie that will sustain.
Yes.
Snow White, you understand why they have the mine ride coming. It's a huge movie. Little Mermaid, you understand why they have rides for Little Mermaid.
Right.
So it's got to be a movie that is going to be long running.
And you can see why Disney kind of holds off on putting some attractions with movies in the parks.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they have to wait and see, is the movie franchise going to last? Is it going to make sense in 5 or 6 years?
Absolutely. You're exactly right.
But I will give them kudos for the Avatar Land thing. Trying to get in on the ground floor of a big franchise.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Because I've got... Part of my my idea goes into Animal Kingdom, and we'll get there. We'll get to that.
Right.
Let's move on. Our good pal Jason Osborne on the Twitter, he says, "How about a Tron ride in Tomorrowland?"
I love it.
I love it too, and I'm going to jump ahead real quick because that was one of my ideas. I had two, and that was one of them. And I think the Tron ride should be. Get rid of the Speedway.
Okay.
Replace all the cars with futuristic-looking cars that look like Tron kind of thing, and make them electric cars.
I love it.
We've talked about the gas-guzzling behemoths that they have over in the Speedway.
And like a trackless system, too.
Yeah, and
all computerized.
Going through some tunnels and stuff to make it look like the kids are really driving super fast.
Yes.
And with lights and all. Yeah, I just think that would be.
I love it.
Kind of. So I'm with Jason on that one.
Excellent. Lisa Green, at Life of Green on Twitter, she wants something modern in the studios. I'm sorry, modern Muppets in the studio. She wants the Muppets, that is something fresh.
Yeah.
She said she could do a coaster, or even something along lines of a Toy Story Midway Mania.
I like that.
And then she'd also like a Beauty and the Beast ride in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of good with Fantasyland the way it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have the entire themed area there with the restaurants and all of that. Because I thought of that as well, but yeah.
But again, if it was a fantastic e-ticket ride, it'd be throw it in there.
Throw it in there. That's and again, like you said, Avatar. I don't think they're going to go wrong with it. Disney doesn't tend to do that, other than Stitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Christina goes by @LifeInWDW. She says, I would like a ride of Tangled and put it in Magic Kingdom somewhere around the Tangled bathrooms. I liked Tangled was huge for them.
Big movie.
It was a big movie.
Big movie and moderately sized bathrooms.
But very nice.
I didn't say they weren't nice. Jordan Duncan, Jordan Gasly on Twitter. He'd like to see a Thor attraction in the Norway Pavilion.
I like that idea. When I first saw that from Jordan, I thought, that is brilliant. Because, Jordan's thinking here, I'm sure, there's nothing Thor at Universal.
No.
So, I don't know what the agreement is with Universal in Florida.
I don't think we can use anything that they already use there.
Oh, right. But if there's no Thor, can't they put Thor in there?
You know what? Thor would be a great addition for the boys.
Yeah, there you go. Especially after the Fantasyland. Absolutely. Very good. A good friend of the show, Terry Pritchard, goes by @MousecaTerry on the Twitter, says Monsters, Inc. door ride, again, at the studios, a Frozen bobsled ride in Magic Kingdom or Norway, a Lone Ranger ride in... scratch that, he says.
Wow.
Oh, come on, Terry. That's rough. That's rough. Now, I did hear a vicious rumor, and man, I hope this is wrong.
Uh-oh.
This came from our pals over at Diz After Dark.
Okay.
The rumor that they have heard and have passed along is that the Norway Maelstrom is going to be changed into a Frozen.
I've heard that, too.
I hope not.
It's making so much money. How can they not? And I love the Maelstrom.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about it.
I do, too. I do, too. But
I don't think it'll be an overlay, either. I think it's going to be a full-fledged...
It would have to be, yeah.
Something. Because I don't think there's... Is there an oil derrick anywhere in the movie? I don't recall seeing an oil derrick.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Walt Hanslick said he'd like to see a new gate. He wants to see a Heroes and Villains Land In that park, you could have a Hercules ride, a Jafar ride, a Maleficent ride, and maybe the Kingdom and the Keys book series would even have a good place there. He said the park could go back to Walt's hub design with the special lands distributed throughout.
There's always been that rumor that they're going to open up that fifth gate. So
it is.
It would be nice to see, and really, if you think about it, I mean, they're running out of space in a lot of the other than Animal Kingdom.
Can you imagine how many billions that would cost?
Oh, well. Yeah.
I mean, not that they don't have deep pockets. I'm just saying.
That would be quite an investment.
I would hope they would invest. I don't want any corners cut if you're going to go that far.
Oh, right.
Go whole hog or no hog.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't go like you did at Disneyland Paris, where it's my understanding they've, it's not up to standards. Let's just say some of the things they've cut corners at Disneyland Paris, other than the castle, which is real stone, and because that was a Michael Eisner thing.
Yes.
Laura Jones said, I would love a Tangled ride as well in the Magic Kingdom. So there's another Tangled.
Tangled's representing. Craig Lucas, he has some more Frozen love for us. He'd have a Frozen traveling attraction telling the story of the film, but in a real Frozen indoor atmosphere with reindeer and animatronics.
I like that idea.
Interesting.
I like that idea. Well, and when you're at Walt Disney World in July and August, there'd be nothing better than a.
I don't know. We just had minus 12 here last week. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right now is not the time to talk to us about Frozen.
I even tweeted I could use some Animal Kingdom hot today.
I saw that. That was outstanding. Oh, that was fantastic. Good friend of the show, Matt Wallace, says, I vote for Lucasland as a fifth gate.
Hey, who was also talking about that recently? Hello.
I know. There are so many properties, and I didn't even think of this, though. Other than Star Wars, under the Lucas brand, that a park dedicated to that would sell. The entry could be American Graffiti, then move through the universe of Star Wars, and finally go on to Indiana Jones adventures.
Nice. Did Universal have like the Mel's Diner there, or maybe that's not there anymore?
I think they do. They have a diner. I don't know exactly if it's Mel's Diner, but they do, and I know the Lucy characters, Lucy and Desi, the Lucy show. They're around there a lot of times.
Cool. Chris Lutweiler, he says Lion King. He says one of Disney's best movies, in that it's grossly underused within the parks. Again, he's right.
Yeah, he nailed that. I agree with. It's just not enough. That the art of animation, it's almost like it's an afterthought.
Right.
They have that entire section, but it's almost like, we got to throw something in there.
I mean, that was until Frozen came out, that was their biggest movie ever, I believe.
Oh, huge!
One of the best soundtracks ever, by the way, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Jeff Lauder says, I would love to see an Iron Man themed flight simulation attraction. That would be very cool.
That'd be a cool coaster.
That would be very cool.
Wow. Got me thinking on that one.
Yeah. You could almost do something very similar to Mission to Space.
You could do that too, yes.
Mission Space.
Yes.
Where you've got the, you're actually feeling the G-forces as you're...
And each ride could be like a separate adventure. Separate hero maneuver.
That would be awesome. That would be cool.
I like this idea. Frederick Pagliarulo, and thank you for the phonetic spelling on your name, Junior.
Got tired of us butchering it every time.
He's loving the suggestion so far. He says he thinks Fantasyland deserves more dark rides, so one based on Tangled or Frozen makes sense to him. He also loves the suggestion of a Muppets-themed ride, as long as it complements and doesn't replace Muppet Vision's 3D. And I didn't think it would either. I'm a big fan of 3D. And finally, now that it's finally under the Disney umbrella, Star Wars deserves a land unto itself in Disney Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I think that's coming.
I don't think we have to... I just want to know when they're going to announce it.
Yeah.
They're going to have a whole lot of stuff ready to go when they announce that, because people are going to be starving for information on that.
Yeah. I have a feeling you're not going to see any of that until the release of the next film. They're going to want to see how that does, and probably not until after Avatar. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you don't want to... you don't want to sink Avatar a little bit.
And you're right. That's what it would do, yeah. Keith White says, let's start with the two they should never consider. Please, Walt Disney Imagineering, don't even think about bringing John Carter. I like John Carter.
It wasn't bad.
No. Or Mars Needs Moms.
I didn't see that one. I heard that was bad.
I got through about 10 minutes of that, and I turned it off. And you know me, I'll watch just about anything Disney.
You will.
And, oh, it was painful. It goes on to say that, personally, I would like to see a Muppets ride at Disney Hollywood Studios near Muppets 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now that they own the rights to Indiana Jones, I'd like to see an Indy ride in the studios as well. I would also like to see a boat ride similar to Living on the Lands in Epcot in Animal Kingdom. None of these are major, but will plus the overall experience. Also, thank you very much, Keith. Says we do a good show.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Keith.
But now, I'm not sure, though. I don't think they own Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones is under Lucas.
Is it? But did they purchase Lucas or just Star Wars?
Lucas.
All of Lucas.
All of Lucas.
I got to read the fine print.
You need to check out my contract. Let me whip it out right here. I'll show you. I'll show you the fine print. Yeah, they own anything Lucas.
Okay.
Including, I believe, Skywalker Sound and the whole...
Yeah, I knew they got
thing.
Skywalker Sound and ILM as well, I believe.
Jen Steed. Now, this was a good idea she had. At Disney Hollywood Studios, she wants a Sugar Rush racing car ride.
Oh, from Wreck-It Ralph.
From Wreck-It Ralph. Kind of like that they have in Cars Land. Wreck-It Ralph was a huge hit. It was.
Yes, it was.
I tell you, my daughter over this Christmas break has watched it like multiple times a day.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed.
It's a great movie.
She doesn't understand why they don't incorporate it more into the parks. Also, this will keep them from having to duplicate anything from Disney's California Adventure.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think Wreck-It Ralph should be represented.
And they could also do the. It was Sugar Rush. Oh, and then what was the other game? Not Fix It Felix. The one with the little cybugs.
Oh yeah. What was that? That was a good one. Yeah, that could be almost like a Toy Story Mania kind of thing.
It
where
could.
You're shooting the bugs. Yeah,
that could almost be another movie. The characters are so strong in that movie all the way around.
Yep. That was fantastic. Emily Hansa Hicks says, I don't think many will agree with her, but she thinks a Tarzan dark ride or simulator like Soarin' would be awesome, especially with footage of gorillas in the wild. Similarly, the Jungle Book would be cool. Or Sleeping Beauty, a coaster where you zoom around Maleficent and her bride.
Oh, Tarzan wasn't on my radar.
Tarzan wasn't on mine either. And you know what? The more I think about it, how fantastic would that be at Animal Kingdom?
That would fit in there perfectly.
And you could put that over in not anymore, because Camp Minnie Mickey's going to be Avatar Land.
Right.
That would have been a good place to go.
That would have been.
Yeah.
And if they're going to do a Soarin'-like ride for Avatar, they won't throw another one in for Tarzan, though.
No. But that's true, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing some extra Tarzan represented there.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's another good one. Paul Boniface. He'd like them to replace the Indiana Jones show with the Condor Man Epic Stunt Spectacular. Okay, now that one wasn't the fabulous part. You ever see Condor Man?
I don't believe... I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I saw it years ago. Again, it wasn't that bad. It was one of those quirky, funny, like early 70s Disney movies or mid-70s. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not great, but not bad. But this is the good part. Or a hanging roller coaster in the studios called Rocketeer.
That would be awesome. I
would love for Rocketeer to be rebooted somehow. I love that movie.
I believe they did. It's called Iron Man.
Oh. Rocketeer and Iron Man join up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but Rocketeer would be like 85 years old now.
Oh, well, you could have a Stark Industries, give him a little tune-up. He'll be good to go.
Hey, that would be a great cameo.
See?
I love it.
But I think that'd be a great one.
That would be,
Very Art Deco themed, roller coaster, hanging. Yep. But you're right. They'd probably go Iron Man maybe before they'd...
Well, again, it depends. It depends on what that contract with Universal is.
Oh, that's true.
So that
would be perfect.
Do the Rocketeer. That would be great. Over
and the soundtrack
studios.
As you're on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
One of my favorite soundtracks.
Yeah, they need some more of those thrill rides. People love the thrill rides.
It brings in the crowds.
John Frederick says if you did old style London, you could have areas for Mary Poppins and Peter Pan. I think 101 Dalmatians was set in London, too. He's correct about the 101 Dalmatians, and really, 101 Dalmatians was one of their top-grossing films. It was huge. When you talk about the original, then the second one that came out, and the live-action version of that.
And they've almost all done really well.
It did huge numbers. It made Disney a ton of money, and I'm surprised, really, other than over at All-Star Movies, that it's not represented more.
We have one here from Steve and Sarah Walters. Steve says, now this is a combo.
Okay.
You take off on a planes ride.
I love it.
Stay with me on this.
Yeah.
But then it switches over to Lone Ranger, at which point you immediately plummet, crash, and burn.
Wow.
He gave that one some thought. And then he goes, thanks, Steve. As far as parks, make this a fifth gate. He doesn't want little children seeing this. Some already suffered through the Lone Ranger movie. And his wife says she was once frozen at the studios. But
it'd be like Alien Encounter all over again.
Oh,
Kids
my
would be crying.
Oh, why'd you bring me here?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, that's funny. Finally, Wyatt France says, Ugh, I'm still trying to catch up on everything I missed while I was on my trip. Yeah, Wyatt, we feel real bad for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were at Disney World, man.
Is this what was negative 12 here, Wyatt? I'm not sure. Wind chill of minus 40.
Exactly. But he says he would really love to see Star Wars Land. His son, Jackson, is really getting into Star Wars right now, and Disney would just blow that out of the water. We are also a huge Marvel family and hope Disney Parks gets the rights to Marvel soon. I think you're going to see Marvel all over the place in Shanghai. I really do. I think that their hands are tied in Florida. You might see something in California.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're going to have to go on the other side of the planet to see Marvel, I think, represented huge, like most people are going to want to see it. Now, Star Wars is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want with that.
So everybody, thanks so much. We really appreciate the participation always. You know, the show's for you, about you guys. And oh, my gosh. I hope Disney Imagineering's listening, because there are some really good things in there for them. So that leaves us.
Oh, my goodness.
I've already given one of my ideas, the Tron Autotopia.
I love the Tron Autotopia.
What do you want to do, Tim?
I don't know. I'm on board with the Rocketeer. Initially, when I heard this, I was like, Rocketeer hasn't been represented in an attraction. There are a couple of hints to it in the studios.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of some kind of roller coaster.
I agree.
Art Deco themed. Maybe something. I don't know if I would do it if it was a super thrill ride. Extreme, but I might, just to say I did the Rocketeer ride. That would be a good, and it would represent the older Disney films. Yes.
It's one of I would love to be in some of these meetings where you've got a movie like The Rocketeer that was such a good movie.
Yes.
Brilliant movie, based on comic books.
Right.
And they did one and done. And I would love to be in these meetings where you go, okay, why aren't we doing another one of these?
That's why I thought they need to do a reboot on it.
Absolutely.
I think if they were to do another movie using all the talents they have now, with the same passionate characters in there, that they could, they would want to make a 3-picture thing out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Captain America was huge, and it was based in the 40s.
Absolutely.
So I think people would. The kids especially, they would love that.
I saw Captain America. I couldn't believe how much I loved it. I'm very excited for the new one.
Yeah, I can't wait. So, that would be a great idea. I think, and again, like you said, the thrill rides, they need more thrill rides. That brings in a lot of families, especially teenagers.
Yes.
I love it. That was way off my radar. I didn't even think of the Rocketeer. Now, mine, going back to the Animal Kingdom, and again, I just think that Avatar was a knee-jerk reaction to Universal putting in the Harry Potter land.
I agree. They wanted to get in the ground floor of something they thought would be big.
Right. Now, it will be done well. I think it's going to be great, but Disney now has to share all of that with James Cameron.
Right.
Why didn't they dig into their own stuff, their own movies, their own ideas, and come up with something for themselves. And I think what they have missed out on and should have done, like so many of our listeners have said, I think they should have put in a Lion King dark ride over at Animal Kingdom, over in Camp Mini Mickey. They could have kept kind of Camp Mini Mickey and had a nice dark ride with over there too for the little kids.
Yes.
The younger kids would have loved that. Kind of like the Little Mermaid ride, kind of like Peter Pan kind of thing, where it's not over the top, but it could be, a couple of dips and stuff where you're going into where the hyenas are, or going down into the canyon with a stampeding wildebeest.
The elephant graveyard.
You could have had them going kind of through a tunnel where alongside you the wildebeests are running alongside you and stuff like that, animated wise. I just think they missed the boat with Lion King as well. I think it's just such a huge moneymaker for them, and they just ended it.
They were done.
Yeah, they did a couple of sequels. I did love Lion King 1.5. I think that's one of the funniest movies out there.
Who'd have thought it'd been that funny?
I know. Lion King 2,
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel bad that it's just over at Art of Animation.
Right.
So, that's all I got, Tim.
That's all I got as well. I think that was enough.
I think
we threw a lot of information out there from the listeners and ourselves.
Absolutely. So a lot of fun. Thanks again, guys, for all the help with the show, and
you guys always come through.
Always come through. Don't forget to send your opening to the show.
That's right. We're getting low.
We're getting low, but we're getting some in that are quite interesting.
Yes. Feel free to be creative.
Oh, there's one coming up. Oh my gosh. All right, that's all I got, Tim.
Thanks, Bob. You can find me on Twitter at ResortLoop.Tim. We have that little website over there, ResortLoop.com.
And I'm Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter. And don't forget Facebook.com/Resort Loop. Rate us on iTunes. Where else can they listen?
You can always find us on a Stitcher.
The Stitcher. And speaking of how they can get a show open to us, what's that number again, Tim?
Well, if you'd like to call it in over the phone,
yes,
you can pick up your phone and call area code 414
WDW
Loop.
As simple as that.
That's all it is. It's a phone call.
It's a phone call.
We're happy to take your phone calls. Operators are standing by.
And don't worry if you mess up. We can edit it.
Yeah.
We can fix it.
We can do it. Or just call it in again.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. This has been The Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody. As simple as that.
That's all it is. It's a phone call.
It's a phone call.
We're happy to take your phone calls. Operators are standing by.